Let's look at some examples where we have to choose the best measure of central tendency. Here's our first example. A golf team's 6 members had the scores below in their most recent tournament. 70, 72, 74, 76, 80, and 114. Somebody's not a very good golfer. So we're going to calculate our 3 measures of central tendency, mean, median, and mode. And we find the mean is 81. The median is 75. Remember, the median falls right in between the 74 and 76 because we've got 6 pieces of data, so it's going to be halfway in between, which of course is 75. And in the case of mode, there is no mode because there was no repeated score. We note that the 81 is quite high. In fact, the 81 is bigger than all but one of the pieces of data, right? So 81 seems quite unusual to choose. The median is 75, which by definition is right in the middle. So in this case, we would choose the median because it seems most representative of the data. The mean is really being thrown out by that outlier, so it changes a lot as a result of that big score in there. The median best describes the scores of the team because the mean is higher than almost all the scores in the data set. Next question. What is the correct interpretation of the mean score? It is the middle point in the set of scores. That is, half the team scored higher than the mean and half the team scored lower than the mean. Or is it B? It represents the average score. If each golfer had scored the same, they would have scored the mean. The answer in this case is B. It represents the average. So mean and average are the same thing. What is the correct interpretation of the median score? Well, we have the same 2 definitions. We chose B for mean. Therefore, in this case, it's going to be A for median. It is the middle point in a set of scores. It might be one particular score, if we have an odd number of data points, or it will be halfway in between the 2 middle data points. Next warm-up. We've got the hourly rates of employees at a supermarket down below here. So we've got $9.25, $8.50, $22.50, $7.85, $8.85, $12.65, $10.85, and $11.50. And we're asked which of these measures of central tendency is the best one to represent that data. If somebody said, what do typically your employees get paid at that supermarket? You want to pick one of these numbers. So we do the mean calculation. We ended up at $11.49. The median is a bit lower at $10.05, and again, there is no mode. If we look at this data, we can see $9.25, $8.50, $7.85, $8.85, those are all very close. The $12.65, $10.85, and $11.50 are quite close, but that $12.50 is quite unusually large. It's more than double, or almost double the next biggest score. So again, we've got an outlier in this data set. We're going to pick the median as a result. In this case, if we put them all in order, and you can see that again, we've got an even number of data points. So we'd put them all in order, find the 2 middle pieces of data, and average them together. So that would give us the 10.05. So due to the outlier, we're choosing the median. Next warm-up. In a survey of 10 households, the number of children was found to be 4, 1, 5, 4, 3, 7, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So which measure of central tendency would we use? We've got our mean at 3.4, the median at 3.5, and the mode at 4, because we can see there's the number 4 showed up 3 times, the number 3 only showed up twice, and the others, 1 showed up twice, 5, 7, and 2 only showed up once each. So typically in this case, we're probably going to choose mode because it is the most frequent. So if we're looking specifically at how many kids in a family, we just wanted to get a sense of if we're planning seating arrangements, what's the typical family going to show up with? Well, 4 is a pretty good indicator there.